Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is James and this here is Team Gavel. So, if you're new here, like I said, my name is James. I'm an attorney with Tension Law and I'm also a video gamer. So I come here, I chat about some legal topics or other gaming news through a legal perspective. And then from there, I usually pop into whatever game I'm working through. I'm a variety gamer, so it really does just switch up from time to time. The last game that I was streaming was absolutely Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And so I'm not going to be playing that today. I've got Pokemon Violet that I'll be popping into later. I don't necessarily have a lot of news, but it's one of those things where I could probably ramble depending on the topic. So anyway, yeah, I will start going over some of the news and things that popped up and make sure, there we go. Make sure all my notifications are working. This really is me just reminding myself, how do I stream? Welcome on in here. Happy New Year, Paige. I am still, I am still trying to figure out some of my New Year's goals. I mean, I had the post talking about some of the things I'm aiming for the year, but I don't know. I'm going to try to make this a fun year where I can, so yeah. Hence, I've got my I'm Knuff hoodie. I'm a little cautious to wear it just because, yeah, it's very soft, but it's also very warm. And streaming is something that gets very hot. It can be, anyway. Let's swap the song. Okay, cool. But yeah, now, I was just going to chat about some little updates, like legal updates, case updates, and things. And then talk about other just personal updates and things going on. But other than that, I will probably be playing Pokemon Violet unless something comes up. So, yeah. But how's your day been? How's the past week been for you, Paige, while I'm starting up here? I was still checking some headlines, seeing if there's some other stuff. There's my secret. Let me see if I can find the headline I was looking for. No, I'm not finding it. That's all right. Kind of wish I could find post that I liked on this one thing. Stayed home today. I think I was with a crud from my niece. Oh no. Fuss sounds pretty good though. Husband bought my mom a plane ticket to come visit. I haven't seen her in 3 years. Well, I hope that the so-called crud that you referred to it as gets out of here. I know there have been a lot of upper respiratory infections and things going around. Oh, shoot. I forgot to turn on the captions. I am so glad I have that setting. Okay, but yeah, there's been a lot of things going around. I was kind of on and off with stuff after TwitchCon, but by the time that the holidays, like Christmas and everything, were rolling around, I was actually kind of safe. I had sniffles occasionally, but yeah, I really just lucked out. I think I got sick with everything else before, and so my body was like, oh, you can't have that again. When I came back, I realized that I was getting ready to go to a convention, and I never got my flu shot or my updated COVID booster like I was intending to last fall. I was trying to do that all before TwitchCon in October. And anyway, didn't work out. I got sick, I had other things, so I was just like, fine. And then when I came back, I was like, no, I have 2 weeks. I need to get my shots. That way it'll be better and hopefully effective by the time I go to MagFest. And so that's what I did. I came back from Florida, and on January 3rd, last Tuesday, just went right on in and got both my COVID and my flu shots. And it was mostly fine. My arm was super sore, and then my joints ached. Like, that was just kind of it. And I felt like uncomfortable, but it wasn't quite as dramatic as when I got my first COVID shot. So I think it was all right, but within 2 days, all that stuff was gone, which was just really nice. I did a slightly silly thing, which was I prioritized getting that rather than thinking about the consequences of having to deal with it. And the next day, I had to drive to Northern Virginia, which for me is like 2 hours away, one way. So 2 hours up, and then I'd have to drive 2 hours back for an immigration trial. And when I got up there, I was not feeling super great. And at the time, I was a little annoyed by it, but I think overall, the fact that the government attorney wasn't available, he had an emergency pop up, I was pretty relieved at that particular moment. Or at least physically, I could take a little bit of a rest and not do that, hopefully, by the time that we have the next hearing. So anyway, everything else was fine for the rest of the week. But yeah, so let's talk about some of the updates, things that I've seen over the past few weeks. So far, one of the biggest copyright and relevant to our space updates, it's not really a groundbreaking update, but New York Times is also suing Microsoft and OpenAI. So I've talked about a couple of those AI lawsuits before. And basically they're saying, hey, you copied our news articles. What is interesting is that Ray Vega, welcome back, or welcome in here. I mean, for the New York Times lawsuit, they've already got a response from OpenAI, and it sounds like they're going to be making an argument that says training AI models uses publicly available internet materials, and that's fair use. And so they are really going to be buckling down for that one. And so for everybody that's been around, you know I've said this, but when your argument is fair use, you are required to admit that you copied. You're required to admit, hey, I have copied the work. I'm gonna have to keep an eye because I've got Pokemon Violet pulled up on the side over here, and there's a reasonable chance that a shiny Pokemon can walk by, and I won't really pay too much attention to it. But anyway, yeah, you have already done like half the work for plaintiff's side by making a fair use defense. And by that, I just mean if you admit that you already copied the work, then the rest of it is just, do you have a viable defense or not? You know, what was your intent? Is there willful and wanton recklessness? If there is willful infringement, then you could potentially get higher damages. So it's kind of a bold move for OpenAI to kind of start off with, yeah, we're going to say it's already fair use outside of, you know, court filing. And those public statements could come in. Also, Ray, yeah, thanks. Yeah, we've got both. I mean, honestly, this YouTube channel that I have for Team Gavel, which I have to remember, that's the other thing I always keep up. The Team Gavel YouTube page is really new. Everything before was on my firm's page. My law firm, Tingen Law, we just had a separate playlist on the firm site for it. And so now we're just trying to market everything independently. And then we can get our metrics. So yeah, I can figure out, you know, what else I need, all that stuff. I've got a marketing person that I chat with. I've got a client, frankly, who's also helping me out. I don't want to put anything in their mouth like, oh, I'm a great person and they're responsible for all the content. No. I get some consulting from my client every now and then. So they are very much helping us get set up with tools and tricks to make all of the content marketing much easier. But yeah, so, I mean, I guess that's really the biggest kicker for the New York Times lawsuit. And I'll just talk about a couple other AI updates because that's kind of what I got. And then if anybody else has any other news, like gaming related news updates that they thought was interesting, that's come up in recent times, then, you know, feel free to chime in with chat. Or if you got any questions. So like other big things that have come up, Wizards of the Coast, they did another thing. So they made a whole big piece about we don't use AI and we're blocking it and all that. And then people found out that in the Magic the Gathering content marketing that they totally used AI art. And so they got yelled at. AI is just not super popular in a lot of these places, especially in a context where you said we are opposed to it.